Hey folks, welcome back. Well, this is a shift cable replacement and adjustment, this, that, and the other. This is a 2015 F350. Does have a 6.7. I don't know if that's going to be the same. If you have got a 6.2, I would guess it probably is. Anyways, I put a new shift cable in this thing, and I just basically kind of assumed, that you would have your lever up in park. You'd make sure you have your bottom lever on the side of the transmission, in the park position, and you'd kind of just line it all up. There's a little kind of adjustment deal on the cable itself, that I'll kind of show you. And it just didn't work quite right. If you kind of put your foot on the brake and you pull this thing down, you go a long ways before anything happens. Then you kind of pull it down, and now we're in neutral. Finagle it, I can get it into reverse. Not too bad here, where drive is and everything like that. And you can drive the pickup, everything's fine, but you go down here to manual or 2, fine, can't go anymore. So we are out of range on this thing, so it is not adjusted correctly the way I did it. So I got into the service manual, and I will basically explain the procedure there. And so what it does talk about in the removal installation is it has you put this thing into drive before you remove it. If you're replacing it for certain reasons, I broke mine, so you might have, it's just going to be off or whatever, but essentially you're going to want this thing in drive. You want it perfectly level right here. That's where you're going to want to have this part of it. And then later on we'll get into the bottom part down here and what needs to be and where that lever needs to go. I mean, that lever needs to be in drive too, but I'll show you what the manual says and how far and how many clicks and this. I mean, you can tell how many clicks. It says it's going to be 3, so they're going to have you started in the low position, so that you got low, you got right here, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you're in drive, and then set it up that way. And so let's we'll just shut this key off. We're gonna leave this just like it is. First thing we're gonna do, actually, I would really like to get this key out of here and get this bottom clamshell piece off of here. There's 3 screws in here. They're 5.5 millimeters. So what we're gonna do is get the key out. I'm gonna remove those screws, remove this part of the clamshell piece. We're also gonna remove this piece here. It just kind of pops out. I'm gonna need 2 hands to do it, but I'm gonna reach underneath here. There we go. Kind of in the general, see how these things are angled? So kind of in the general, pulling back this way, but that's gonna get us access to like right here, where we're gonna need to get the clip off of here to get this deal off of here. This was an aftermarket, I think a Dorman shift cable. I don't like it, so I got one from Ford. We're gonna go with that. But yeah, now we need to get this piece off here, so let's do that. All right, so we got this piece off of here, and just with the key out of it, it makes it a lot easier, because your key is really not going to fit through that hole. Makes it a lot easier. So you got this part right here, which you're going to eventually just kind of get a screwdriver or something in here and just kind of pop this off. I'm not going to do it quite yet. And then right in here you'll have a deal where you'll push like this, and then this piece right here will slide out of there. And then from there you've got a couple of different places where this is going to run. Like right up there, it's going to have a little like a Christmas tree fastener type of a tab. And let's see if I can get a light on that. Right there is one of them. And then here's another one. Like I had put it in here, but I reused the original. I was just going to unsnap this off there, but you know, pull it off of there. And then once you get those pulled out like so, then underneath the carpet right here, you'll have this rubber grommet, which there, you'll just kind of pull that up and out of there. You can either shove it through, because, you know, right now that's down into the outside world right there. We need to unhook the bottom side of it. First thing we're gonna do always is, you know, we notice this thing right here is it's in neutral, but it's in the drive position. But see how we can, you know, why this isn't right. You know, I could pull this thing down just a little bit, get it into drive, go right back up into the same position, you know. So I mean, that's obviously not right. Not a huge deal. We're gonna leave the transmission, you know, there and all that stuff, and we're just gonna leave this in this position. But I'm actually gonna pop this up in neutral because it's got less tension on the cable right now. We're just gonna leave it right there. That we're not gonna worry about. So we'll go ahead and shut this off, and then we'll go underneath the pickup. And well, actually, let's you have to bear with the noise for a second, but let's go ahead and pop this off here. There we go, just like that. And there's a tab here, and that just pops out like that. This is loose. Just remember where it goes, and then we'll go ahead and just, you know, pull it out. Let's go underneath the truck and look at the bottom. Okay, so this is underneath here on the side of the transmission. So you get the same type of a little snap-in connector right here. Pretty similar way on this, as far as but you got to get both sides. You got a little clip here and a little tab right there, and this will slide out just like that also. Easy enough with just a little screwdriver. You just kind of got to push, you know, get a screwdriver that can fit through this hole and push it. See how it moves? Just like that. And then that on both sides. You just got to do, I'm going to need both hands to do that. Obviously this, you know, will just pop off of here. Now, this position right here, so see that was in neutral. So this is park. All the way clockwise, that's park. The manual actually says to put this thing in low and then go 3 clicks. Oops, that was 2. It's hard to push. There, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this out, and then you can see where it goes up through the firewall there. That's our rubber grommet. Move this. Yep, just see, we got it all loose now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it up that way through the floor once I get this thing off of here. Okay, so I got this thing fished out of here. This is the whole reason why I don't like this aftermarket one, because I can't make it not work correctly. But you see how this thing moves? Trying to demonstrate it. See how that moves up and down with the spring? That's not supposed to happen. That's your adjustment. So what you would end up doing is you would pop these little tabs up, because this thing slides up a little bit. Let me get a stand for this camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna hold this shaft right here. Now see how this, well, it's really hard to see how it's, I can't move it back and forth. This is the problem with the aftermarket one, is even though this is in the position it's supposed to be in, it's not working correctly, and then this barely moved, and that now we're like this. What this is supposed to do is just push up and snap up like that. Now it's supposed to be really tight, and then when you get it in the position right where it needs to be, you snap it over the place, then you push this in place like that, it locks it in and it can't move. This one won't, unless you really push. Now see, now I can't get it to, because I'm pushing and holding on this part right here, but I let some slack, barely some. See, that's not supposed to be that way unless it's clicked up like that position there. Hopefully you can see that, you know, like that's, you know. And if I get this piece off of here, you can see the little ribs in there. Well, this Dorman one, and you can see the ribs in there, it's just not clicking into place good enough to keep it correctly, you know, whereas this one right here, this is the one I got from Ford, it's set here, and then I'm not gonna do it because I want to shove this thing down once, make sure it goes, and you know, move it back, and then let's go ahead and, there we go. That's a good snap down. See, now I cannot move that. That's what you want to see when it's snapped in place like that. So good. There we go, spread apart. There we are, just like that. So okay, so now we're gonna get ready to put this thing in here. You see right now nothing's registering on here because this lever is out of park till we go back into park. But see, this just moves, it's got its positions. But where you want it to go into drive is, you know, you pull this down, okay, there's your reverse. You'll feel that detent, can't push it. Now you'll be able to drop it down. There's neutral, there's drive. So once it's in its final place, now you can't push it down anymore, because you know, we all know when you drive, you know, you go ahead and you put it in reverse, and then when you do that, you do not have to pull back on the lever. All you have to do is just drop this down and you'll go right straight into drive. Whereas if you're in drive, we always know that you have to pull the lever to get it back up into reverse. And there's nothing here because the detents are actually in the transmission itself. Now, one thing I just learned is well, I knew it, is when the indicator here, this is done by inside the transmission. There's a sensor in there. It's not done from here. I mean, it can obviously tell when it's out of park versus, you know, now I have to put my foot on the brake to release because now it's locked in. I know this video is all over the place, sorry, but I just figured this deal out. The reason why it's working correctly there is because now I've got the transmission placed into park. So let's go underneath here. Okay, let's put this thing, that's low. 2, 3, that should be drive. Okay, come up here. Okay, now it says it's in drive. But even though, this is what I figured out. Even right now, I got the key on, got my foot on the brake. I cannot get this thing out of park. So what you have to do is this has to go into drive first while the transmission, because now what I'm gonna have to go do is I'm gonna have to go underneath the pickup and move that lever counterclockwise as far as it can go into park. Then I can come in here, drop this down into drive and shut the key off, and then position the lever underneath of there into drive, which is mean you go all the way counterclockwise. That's low, and then you go 1, 2, 3, which is your clicks, which is low, 1, 2, 3, and into drive. So let's get that done, because now I need to get this thing into park. And then also I need to fish and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you know, just this end right here, and I'm gonna just drop it down through, and then I'm gonna fish this end up in the steering column where it goes. And I'm not gonna show that because that'd be a pain in the butt to film, and probably couldn't even see anything anyways once we get that far. But anyways, let's do that right quick where we put this thing into park from down here. Okay, so we'll rotate this. You will have some spring tension on this, a little bit. That's what it's supposed to do, but that's park. So now the indicator up on the dash will tell you that it's in park, and now I can bring the lever out of park even though we're not connected, not doing anything. Thing is, with you got mechanical shit versus with electronic stuff, you know, and you disconnect it all, sometimes things will go funky. But I was like, I could not figure out why I could not get this thing out of park until I went back underneath the transmission, put it into park, and then I can get it out. So now we can get that there, you know, and just go right into that position there, the last detent there. We'll set that like that. We can shut this key off now just for the time being. And let's get this thing, and then so now what I got to do is I got to go back underneath there, and I'm going to do it when I go underneath there. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to get all the top stuff done here, go underneath there, and then now we'll move that thing, you know, into low and go 1, 2, 3, and that'll be in the drive position, and then we'll adjust where our cable needs to go from there, and then hopefully we should have this thing working correctly after that. Okay, so now we've got our deal drop down through here. We got our rubber grommet in place here. I got that snapped in place there. I got that one I showed you up in there snapped in. This one right here, now take note of this deal right here. I'm gonna have to rotate this, and you see that tab right there. So we'll snap that into place there, and it clicks right in there. This deal will just move, and try not to move your lever right here. You'll snap this in place just like that. Give it a little tug, make sure it's not going to come out, and then come back up here, just double check that you're in the right position. It's pretty level, but you can feel it when you're right here. That's reverse, neutral, and drive, and that's it. That's all it'll go. So that's where you want that. Now we'll go underneath the pickup. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this thing, get it and start it in its place here. And I got it upside down. There we go. So I can't really mess that up. Slide this, push in the position there. So see this thing being clear up here. Now this might be in our way. I might have screwed up and put that, and we should be all right though. Okay, so we go this far, this counterclockwise, and 1, 2, 3, and then you take this, snap that in place, push that in place, just pull the tug on that. You probably can at this point pull it off, make sure it's snapped in place, but I could tell can't move this, you know. I mean, I can a little bit, but that's not moving this part right here. That was moving the whole shaft. So yeah, we're gonna go up there and check it out. Okay, we just got in here. So the one bit of good news is we're in drive right here, and it says we're in drive. Neutral. So popped it up one more. Ugh. Reverse. Oh yeah, it feels so much better. Yeah, and now we can get it into one where I couldn't do that before. So I didn't do it right when I put the other shift cable in there, but the other thing too is that shift cable was also causing me some grief. Neutral, perfect. That reverse. Perfect. There we are. Oh yeah, she's working good now. So now all we got to do is just get this deal put back together. Everything's good down there, and we got it installed. It's just a matter of doing it the correct way, which makes it easier to adjust, and then also having a cable that actually freaking works. And obviously this Dorman one, the finish on the these little ribs and everything like that just isn't up to par, isn't good enough, because it doesn't stay, and it has to, when this moves around, that's not good. You're gonna be going like this with your lever all over the place trying to get it in the right gear. So not good. So we're gonna send that thing back. I think I got it from O'Reilly's or something like that, but you know, actually now this thing is out of its, you know, these little teeth right here are supposed to be on the other side of the spring. But anyways, hopefully this helped you out, you know, and sorry it was all over the place and kind of long, but thanks for watching.